For centuries, we've all looked up at that little rusty red dot in the night sky and wondered, could we actually go there? Could we call it home? It's the ultimate dream, right? Well, today, we're going to get real and break down the science behind that dream.
So, could we really live on Mars? Yeah, forget what you've seen in the movies for a second. Let's really dive in here and separate the sci-fi fantasy from the cold, hard facts.
I mean, for as long as we've had telescopes, Mars has been our cosmic neighbor, the famous red planet. It has totally captured our imagination, right? A potential second Earth, a brand new frontier for all of humanity. But before we start packing our bags, we have got to face the reality of what it would actually take to survive there. Okay, so let's rip the Band-Aid off. The reality, it's brutal. Mars isn't just some chilly desert. It is one of the most hostile, unforgiving environments we have ever encountered. We're not talking about a few small hurdles here. We're talking about monumental, game-stopping challenges. Let's start with the very air you'd breathe, or actually the air you couldn't breathe. The Martian atmosphere is 95% carbon dioxide. Just to give you an idea of what that means, Earth's atmosphere has less than 1%. So if you took off your helmet on Mars, you'd be dead in seconds. It's that simple.
And if the air doesn't get you, the cold will. We're talking an average temperature of minus 60 degrees Celsius. That is way, way colder than the most freezing temperatures ever recorded in Antarctica. And hey, remember, that's just the average. It can drop to a completely mind-numbing minus 125 degrees at the poles. And get this, even gravity is working against you. With only about 38% of Earth's gravity, you'd feel super light on your feet at first, which sounds kind of fun. But over time, your muscles would waste away, your bones would lose their density. Slowly but surely, your own body would start to, well, fall apart.
So, to put it bluntly, Mars is pretty much actively trying to kill you. There's no air to breathe, almost no liquid water on the surface, and zero protection from deadly solar radiation. Oh, and if all that wasn't enough, you've got planet-wide dust storms that can block out the sun for weeks at a time.
Sounds impossible, doesn't it? But, if there's one thing humanity is really good at, it's solving impossible problems. This isn't about just finding a new home. It's about building an entire world from the ground up, using some absolutely incredible technology.
So first things first, air and water. How do you get them on a dead planet? Well, the plan is actually pretty ingenious. We'd start by mining the huge ice caps at the Martian poles. Once you melt that ice to get water, you can run an electric current through it, a process called electrolysis, to split those H2O molecules and boom, you get hydrogen for rocket fuel and most importantly, the oxygen we need to breathe.
Okay, so we can breathe. What about eating? Well, the Martian soil, they call it regolith, is a classic good news, bad news situation. The good news is it has the minerals plants need. The bad news? It's loaded with toxic chemicals. So we'd literally have to wash the soil before we could even think about planting a single potato. All right, so you got air, water, and maybe some food. Now you need a place to live that won't kill you. And this is where the engineering gets really cool. To protect against the radiation and that insane cold, we'll probably have to live underground in bases, or maybe in inflatable habitats that we then cover with a thick layer of Martian dirt. Okay, after all that doom and gloom, here's a little bit of good news, a silver lining, if you will. Turns out, a day on Mars is 24.6 hours long. That's almost exactly the same as an Earth day. That's a huge deal because our body's internal clocks, our circadian rhythms, wouldn't have to adjust much at all.
But here's the thing. We could solve every single one of those technical problems and still fail. Because the biggest hurdle might not be the technology, but what's going on inside our own heads. We're talking about a level of isolation humanity has never, ever experienced.
Think about this number, 22 minutes. That's how long it can take for a message to get from Mars to Earth. One way. No quick calls to your family, no video chats. Want to tell someone you love them? You'll have to wait 44 minutes for a reply. You would be profoundly alone.
Just think about your life right now. You are surrounded by billions of people. You're constantly connected. Now imagine your entire world, your whole social universe, is just a handful of other people in a box on another planet. An entire world away from everyone and everything you've ever known.
And that really gets to the heart of it, doesn't it? The survival of a colony on Mars won't just be up to the engineers, it will depend entirely on the mental and emotional strength of the people living there.
This is a test of our spirit, just as much as it is a test of our science.
So, with all of that on the table, the insane technical challenges, the profound psychological toll, where does that leave us? Is this dream of becoming a multiplanetary species really going to happen?
Well, the roadmap is already being drawn. Right now, we're in the golden age of robotic exploration. Our rovers are mapping the planet as we speak. Next up, the big one. The first humans on Mars, maybe in the next decade. And the ultimate dream, a few decades after that, is a colony that can finally support itself.
And make no mistake, this isn't just science fiction talk anymore. You've got the heavy hitters in this race. NASA's laying all the groundwork, doing the critical science with its robots. And then you have companies like SpaceX, whose entire goal is to build a self-sustaining city on Mars. It's happening.
So let's bring it all home. Could we live on Mars? The answer seems to be, yeah, probably. But it's a yes with a giant asterisk. The tech seems possible, but it's going to demand a level of creativity, grit, and mental toughness that we as a species have never faced before.
Look, this is the ultimate challenge, the ultimate adventure. And so the real question isn't just can we go to Mars, it's should we? And if we do, are we really ready for what we'll find, not just on the red planet, but deep inside ourselves?